Outboards versus inboard. It's one of the important decisions when you're speccing out a Targa. From the Targa 32 downwards in the Targa range, you can spec the boat with outboards. I'm Andrew Porter from East Coast Yacht Sales. I'm aboard a 2026 Targa 27.2 spec'd with Mercury 300s. And I'm also on a 2026 Targa 27.2. This one has a single Volvo D6 400 diesel. We're going to talk about some of the differences between the inboards and the outboards, and we're going to talk about how it affects the boat, the space, and the usability. A distinct feature of outboards is they're mounted on the back of the boat. So what we have in this case is we have two wing swim platforms, port and starboard. I'm standing on the port side very comfortably. It's a sizable swim platform. There's a swim ladder tucked under the starboard one, and it's great for getting on from a dock, from a dinghy, or if you're swimming. It also allows access to get into the aft cockpit, the outboard choice, the rigging tubes, so the fuel and wires and steering that go back to the engines are here. I can comfortably step around them, but they are there. So I step in and I can close this gate, and I'm essentially on any Targa at this point with the closed gate, and I'm in the aft cockpit. Another consideration is when the engines are trimmed up. So when the outboards are in the up position, the gates can only open inward. They do swing outboard when the engines are down. Engines up, they only swing in, and you're a little restricted. So it's not as easy to get on and off. I can sort of get over to the swim platform, but you know, that engine is there, it's in the way, I gotta get around it. So in a half down or a full down position, you eliminate that. But when they're up, this is the space you have. The swim platform's still viable, but they're in the way if you're coming and going. So take a peek at the inboard diesel model and how that changes all of this setup. So on the Targa 27.2 inboard boat, the swim platform is obviously a huge difference. There are no outboard engines hanging back here to state the obvious. So the swim platform is full width. It's 10 feet by 3 feet, and you can use every bit of it. Also, swim ladder underneath, and then you've got this innovative little hatch that allows me to look straight down at the DPI drive. When you don't have the outboards on the back, you also get this fender storage, 2 on each side, which is sort of a European concept, but works really well. And I don't know why more American boats don't have it, so we love it back here. And then also the gate. This is a really beautiful piece, very solid, positive latches. It opens out. It only opens out compared to the outboard version where you can swing them in or out. With the outboards, they're hanging off the back of the boat, so that opens up a big machinery and storage space under the aft deck. So when I open this hatch, you see massive storage, but you also see all of the engineering and equipment and systems that go into a Targa 27.2. So I'm now standing in this utility space with systems and storage and everything around me. Think about what would be here if the inboard diesel was where I am. Let's check it out on the other boat. This is no longer a machinery space, this is now an engine room. So we're staring at a Volvo D6 400 that's bolted up to a DPI drive, and it gets you all the efficiency that Targa is known for and the Volvo DPI system is known for. Additionally, the machinery, the equipment, the electrical, the batteries are also in this space. So there's effectively no storage in here, whereas on the outboard boat, you saw that storage. The comparison between outboard and inboard performance is actually pretty interesting, and there's a lot of nuances to consider. What we'll do is we'll put the performance numbers for both outboard and inboard versions up on the screen so you can follow along while I point out some of those highlights. Another thing to note is you go to our website, ecys.com. You'll find detailed information about fuel economy, layouts, performance data, which will help you learn more about these boats. So first, looking at the Volvo D6 400 inboard, you're looking at a top speed around 36, a high cruise around 30, and that gives you a range of approximately 275 miles at that high cruise. If you slow down to a more economical cruise of around 26, your range increases to around 300 nautical miles. Now compare that to the Mercury V8 300's outboard package. You're looking at a top speed in the upper 40 knot range and a high cruise around 37. So at that 37 knot cruise, the range is about 143 nautical miles. If you bring the speed back to about 30, more economical all-day cruising speed, the range increases to roughly 200 nautical miles. So those are some key differences between the outboard and the inboard setups. More information, more detailed performance data on screen and at our website. One more thing to think about inboards versus outboards is noise levels when you're running. With the outboards, they're hanging off the back of the boat and you're in the pilot house, they're 10, 15 feet behind you. That noise is mostly behind you. So on the inboard boat, that single diesel engine is in the boat. It's in that engine compartment we just looked at. Because of that, you are gonna feel a diesel engine a little bit more. Frankly, it's very comforting to me. It's a low harmonic and I actually like it a lot. Noise levels are gonna be similar. The feel and the tone is gonna be a little bit lower and a little bit different. Maintenance costs. With outboard engines, you are on a 100-hour interval. So every year or every 100 hours, whichever comes first, you need to be taking it to a technician and doing your interval service. That's gonna be oil, lower unit oil, engine oil, filters, basic services every 100 hours. It's gonna be about $2,000 for twin Mercury 300s. And with the inboard, you're on a 200-hour interval service, double the hours. And we've only got one engine. So you're doing oil change, filter change on the engine. You're also doing drive service, drive oil, zincs, and paint. And you're gonna be a little under $2,000, let's say $1,800 comparative analysis for the single inboard. The initial cost, the purchase cost, is something to consider. Mercury 300s will be slightly more than the standard Mercury 250s, but you'll still be slightly below the Volvo diesel option. On this boat, we have the single Volvo D6 400. That's one of the choices in the inboard line, probably a pretty sweet spot right in the middle. And this boat is gonna be a little more expensive than the Mercury outboards. In this case, probably $15,000 or $20,000 more for a 2026 model year. That's the outboard boat, and this is the inboard boat of the Targa 27.2. Make sure you go to our website, ecys.com, and find the landing page for the Targa 27.2. There's tons of data and other media for you to explore. I'm Andrew Porter from East Coast Yacht Sales. Thanks for coming along for this versus inboard versus outboard.